Hey, what is going on, everybody? You already know it is Wednesday. It is 8 p.m. My name is Paul Spencer, and I got my main man here, Sean Killer Kilrain. Tonight, guys, we're going to be flipping over from college football frenzy to the AFC South. We have two divisions left. So, Sean, how you feeling tonight, man?
I'm good, man. It's hump day. It's Wednesday. Let's get ready to roll, man. How about you?
Yeah. Oh, I'm ready to go, man. Listen, I'm stoked about it because next Thursday night is the NFL draft, man. And I can't wait for this. Can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know you Eagles have two picks in that first round. You guys kind of own the draft again, just like you did last year. But I'm kind of curious. Before the other guys get on, Mike is going to hop on a little bit later. Joe's going to hop on later as well. Oh, Mike's on here. Let's get Mike on here. But what's going on, Mike? Good.
What's going on, everybody? You hear me loud and clear?
Yeah,
What's
you're good.
up, Mike?
Okay.
Good. So, like you were saying, Paul?
Fine. Look,
Yep.
I'm not. We're not live.
Oh, you're good.
Oh,
All right.
we are.
I mean, let's talk about NFL draft before Joe hops on here before we get to the AFC South. Now, you guys sit with two picks this year. Let me ask you, Sean. Let me go with your first pick, sitting at 10. What the hell are you guys doing? What's in the mind of Sean Killer Kilrain right now with the Eagles' 10th pick?
I really want to break the cycle. If Mike kind of agrees with me, get that running back by the name of Bijan Robinson. He's a game changer. I know we don't draft running backs, but guys like him come once in a blue moon. So I would draft him there. But if I can't, say if Seattle or mainly Tampa Bay wants to swap the 10th for the 19th and their 5th pick and next year's second, I'm for Bijan's going to be there. I do it.
Okay. Yeah, I was. I agree with that 100%.
Quarterback.
Yeah, I agree. I was just talking to.
And
I was just talking to Lee Ryder. Go ahead, Sean. Go ahead.
I got something interesting. You know how Buda Baker wants to be traded. There was a video where he was talking high praise to Sirianni. He loves the culture of the Philadelphia Eagles, the whole thing. I see Howie, the evil genius that he is, trading that 30th pick to the Cardinals to get Buda Baker. Match made in heaven. 27 years old. Your spot is there. But here is the case, and I know everybody's going to say it. It's the money. 16 he's due, but Howie's that money master, restructuring like he did Jordan Mulatto. Something's telling me I think something's going to be brewing a major trade-wise for us because we still have that bad taste in our mouth with the Super Bowl. But all in all, I'm just hyped up for this draft next week. What are your thoughts? Go ahead.
I am.
What do you think your Dallas Cowboys are going to do?
Listen, there's two people I mentioned that I just had the 215 boy show. And we had Steve.
What would you?
What's that? Are you there?
What would you draft? Who would you draft?
All right. To me, we just had Steve on the show.
Who would you
on the
draft?
215 boy. I think there's a huge lag here. Hold on. Can you hear me, Sean?
Okay. Hear you loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. It seems like one of us are freezing up here really bad. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead and talk.
Guys, we're having a lot of freeze here. We have two comments out there. Can you tell me who's freezing up, Ken or TJ? Okay, TJ says, I can hear you, Paul. Fine. Sean is shaky. Sean is. Okay. Sean, you there?
Oh, wow. So you want me to
Just rejoin. Click back out and rejoin it real quick.
Okay, it's me.
All right, it's cool. All right, guys, I apologize for that real quick. A little lag going on here. Mike was lagging. I don't know, it's something down in Philadelphia or whatever. But I'm just going to talk about the draft issue here before the guys get on here. The 215 Boys show just ended, and we had Steve from DFW Sports down there. He's a radio announcer for the Dallas Cowboys. And I was asking him about the draft as well. As Sean mentioned, my Cowboys pick at 26. There's two names that I love, but there's one name that I want and one name that I don't think we'll be able to get because you're going to give up the farm here. Bijan Robinson, generational back, of course. To me, you're going to have to give up the farm with there. CJ says, I really don't think Bijan will be there for 10 for the Eagles. I don't know. I was just talking to Steve, actually, and he's with the community down there of draft experts, talking from team to team with media relations. And he said that the draft board with Robinson is actually dropping because the stereotype of picking a running back at 4, 5, 6, 7. Do you give up, do you take that talent, but you do get the 5-year option with that talent-wise. But in order for the Cowboys to move up to Robinson, you're going to have to get him at 6 to 10, possibly trading with the Eagles. And that, to me, scares me because you're going to give up the farm to do that, number one. I don't want to do that. There's a name out there that I like, as Sean mentioned. I mentioned on the show, Jahmyr Gibbs. A little bit smaller back. Tony Pollard, a little bit bigger than him. But this guy's route tree is insane. Not Bijan Robinson talent-wise, route tree catching the ball. But I would actually go Jahmyr Gibbs with my pick as well. Excuse me, said it's like Max Headroom. Okay, yeah, the lag there. I'm sorry. I appreciate I'm very sorry about the lag, guys. I don't know what it was, but we're just going to talk about, the NFL draft here today a little bit. Dan on Wheels says, I like the Iowa linebacker. Let's see if Sean's going to join us. Sean, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How about now?
All right, guys, let us know out there watching the show because I see both screens. I see a little lag on that part, but let me know how it is now. Sean, I was just saying I want Jahmyr Gibbs at 26 if he's available. What do you think?
I love running back. He can catch out of the backfield, block. He's a do-it-all back, just like Bijan, but not but he's a sack. I rank him 1, 2. Zach Carbonet, David Arcane, A&M, and there's Tulane who tore up Utah, like we said last week. So, pick for you guys, So,
there's a lot of
I think we're going to see a lot of wheeling. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of lag.
But you can hear me. I hear you loud and clear.
I can hear you perfectly fine, but once in a while you go in and out. Yeah, I can hear you, but it's like a lag. Everybody's saying constantly, yeah. Real quick, let's see in the comments here. Wow. TJ says, I think the media BS is not how the GMs think. Exactly, and that's what I asked. I asked Steve because he's part of media relations down there, and he was saying that the name recognition is not what it pans out to be after the draft combine. Robinson's actually dropping on many drop boards. He said the one name that's actually popping up is the Tillman, like from Tennessee, the wide receiver as well. He's actually moving up in draft boards. He was saying things like that. There's a guy that Mouch.
Really?
The North Dakota State. I mentioned a name called Mouch. He's a left tackle.
Mouch, North Dakota State, yeah.
Yes, he was saying he's moving up many draft boards right now for the way he's performing. And that's an unsung guy where people aren't talking about. So I agree with TJ. I think the media relations and the GMs, they're not on the same page here. I think there's a lot of smokescreen as well. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. I think, and also on the aspect of the team, if anybody can comment on this, Howie is not first talent, second round talent, yeah, which goes to Fletcher Cox, which is his last pick. Who the hell is Mel Kiper? Started from his garage.
Exactly, yeah.
But
exactly.
all in all, anybody out there, we're starting from bedroom to basement. Come on, hook us up. But all right, man. Like you said, it's the name. And back to Cody Malk, he was a tight end. They converted him to a O lineman. and that has Stoutland U all written over it. If anybody agrees with me, I mean, I would love that guy. He's gritty. He's a grinder, But yeah, I mean, there's so many diamond in the roughs, like we said before,
Yeah, I
it's
just
true.
got a
At least
I
look
just
at
got
what
a I just got a message from somebody saying that I'm not lagging. You're lagging in and out a little bit, and Mike can't even get on the screen. So I don't know what it is. I know it's not here because I just had 4 people on the 215 Boy Show for an hour, and I was hosting two guys
Okay.
from different areas. But we'll work with it. Hey, this is what Out of the Box is about, man. We fly on the edge of our seats here, brother. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
Yeah,
now,
so that's
okay. So what do you do if you go 10 and Robinson's available? Let's say you take Robinson at 10. There's good, just like Steve said on the other show. He said somebody's going to try to swing back in that first round. Okay. Do you use now? Let me ask you this, Sean. If Arizona calls you and says, "Hey, we will give you Buda Baker for that 30th pick, but we'll only give you a second round pick for him next year," or you have to give up a second round pick next year, what are you giving up plus your 30th pick?
I do. You know what, man? These like the time is now to it's Super Bowl or bust. The window is closing with our O line. They're kind of aging defense. I would do it. I mean, shit. Buda Baker is a hell of a player. 7-time Pro Bowler, if I'm correct. And he's 27. He's young, so I would do it. And then I read another thing. Another trade. Green Bay trades with us for the 10th pick. They draft the Indigaba from Ohio State, if I said it correctly. And at 15, Bijan's there. So it's a win-win. I think that's what kind of they want to work with because I believe if it's a top 10 pick, you got to pay them what is that 5-year deal or something?
Yes, it's a little strong heavy at the top 10, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, I'm hoping I want him because he's a game changer. But that's an instant offensive spark plug. If anyone disagrees or agrees, comment. But yeah, I mean, I'm like a little kid in a candy store.
I am too. Get him. I am too. I'm happy. I can't wait till next Thursday. We'll be doing a live show as well. But let me ask you this real quick, since we're gonna talk about draft here.
Yeah.
Eagles pick at 10. Now, I want to give you a scenario real quick because I would be in hog heaven if this happened to me. I'd probably lose my mind, honestly. Jalen Carter drops to 10. Bijan Robinson drops to 10. Where are you going?
Oh, dude, that's. I mean, Jalen Carter is a need. I don't see him being there at 10, but if he is, like you're giving me the scenario, I mean, I got to break the cycle. I am a defensive guy, but Bijan is just saying, "Hey, Sean, here I am," and I don't want your Cowboys to get him. That's the thing that bothers me because that's an instant. I don't want him in our division. So, I mean, I like both players, but I'm going to break that cycle if I'm the GM. Bijan, it is. I mean, and then it's hard too. Do you agree or disagree? There's a lot of stuff coming out with Jalen Carter. He gained 9 pounds. He didn't do all the defensive skill drills in pro day. There's more to the story with the car accident. I mean, it's a shame that they're bringing this all on now as the draft is coming upon them for him. But I mean, it sucks, but is he a guy or is he going to be that weekend warrior? Like so to speak, like everybody knows who's the Eagles fan, Mike Mamula. So, but Bijan, it is with that comment that you gave me all day.
Okay, so yeah, I think both are going to be gone. Honestly, yeah, I think both are going to be gone, Sean. Honestly, I think Jalen Carter. I think he's going to go to Seattle. I think under that Pete Carroll system, that defense.
You just took the words out of my mouth. Yep.
Yeah, I definitely think he's going to go there. Robinson, listen, man. Here's the thing: do you really pay that kind of money for a generational running back? I mean, I don't know. Zeke, we took him at 4, had great years, but we ran him down to the ground.
Mm,
I don't know if you take that running back top 10 anymore because
yes.
running backs, Sean. We know running backs. You can find a good running back rounds 2 to 4 now, man. We know that. We know that part.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Yep.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yep. Now here's
You know
something real
what?
quick. Go
You
ahead.
hit it right on the head. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish up.
I think, yeah, I would trade that 10th. Somebody wants a quarterback or their draft pick need. Let's trade him. I mean, trade the pick and knowing that he's going to be in the back end, I get him.
Hmm. Okay.
So
Let's
yeah.
get in some of the comments real quick. Let's talk about Hendon Hooker.
All right.
Let's talk about Hendon Hooker.
Go
Coming off
ahead.
the big injury, okay, we know what he's about. Great quarterback, great pocket presence, great awareness, wheels on him too. We know that. Good quarterback, but where do you see
Yes.
him falling in? Where do you see him? Because there's Hooker and then there's the quarterback
Saints.
from Houston as well. Oh, really? Okay. Okay.
I see him. I
Wow.
see him at the Saints, and another one that is very intriguing. Minnesota. I
Even
think
with Kirk
Minnesota
Cousins.
might. Kirk Cousins. He doesn't start. Hendon Hooker. He's holding that clipboard for a year, but you
Hmm.
get him on your team. It's just like any star quarterback. Look at the Rodgers and all this other stuff. I'd say Minnesota or Saints. You know,
Okay. Okay.
that's
All
my
right.
thing.
Gotcha. Now, since we
Mhm.
mentioned, the Bijan Robinson, Jalen Carter, TJ says he would definitely take Bijan Robinson over Jalen Carter
There
if
you
both
go.
fell to you at 10. Okay. All right. There we go.
I
All right.
like
And
that. Yeah.
also, yep, next Friday night on the Big Blue Power Hour, we're going to be having a live draft next Thursday night, starting at 6:30 for the entire first round. So stay tuned to that. It's tons of fun. One pick goes the wrong way, and you're screwed for the rest of the night. Put it that way. So it's a lot of fun
Yep.
talking about it, live draft. But next Friday night, Big Blue Power Hour, you can join them. They're going to be live reactions to round 2 and 3, and that's where the sleepers come in, the dime a dozen, the diamond in the
Mhm.
rough that you're looking at
Yes.
rounds 2 and 3. So definitely, so check them out next Friday night, 8 p.m. Big Blue Power Hour. Now, let's talk about the defensive tackle from Pitt, moving up a lot of draft boards.
Kalijah
Sean, what do you say?
Kancey. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
A mini me of not no pun intended. A mini me of Aaron Donald. His
Mm-hmm.
motor's high. You
Mm-hmm.
know, he's got great technique. He likes that double team. He just has great technique. And his first step, he's fast, just like Donald. And as
True.
well as I do, lower man always the first man. Look, that first step, boom, you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna win, and you got to get your hands under the pads. But yeah, he's something special. I mean, very good. He's an intriguing player. Where do I see
Okay.
him going? Probably, maybe late first, early second. You know,
Okay.
what do
Okay.
you think?
Now, I agree with you. I agree 100% what you're thinking there. I pretty much on the same page as you. Now, I do want
Mhm.
to see a couple comments we talked about, going to the
Yeah,
Jalen Carter Robinson thing. Now, would you take the D tackle from Pitt over these two if all three drop to you now? Who would you take?
no, no. I'm
Okay.
staying with Bijan. It's very like you
Okay.
said. It's very intriguing. It's like, yeah, it's
Mhm.
no other words. I mean, yeah, I'm going
Very
for
true.
the once in a blue moon type running back, and
I
I
agree.
think everybody can agree. It's hard, but yeah, I'm going. I gotta break that cycle.
Mhm.
You know.
Now, let me ask you this real quick, and we'll both touch base on this one here. TJ says,
Okay.
wouldn't surprise me if someone like the Cowboys don't jump us to get Bijan Robinson if he's there. Now, I'll let you say your piece first because as a Cowboy fan, I do not want to jump to go get this guy. You go first. You tell me what you think first.
I would see you guys possibly doing like how it's like little brother, big
Mm,
brother, like we did with you with Dallas Goddard. You
with
did us
Micah.
with CD Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if the opportunity's there, I mean, for both teams, you got to jump on him, like really. And if he's, I mean, if you know, we're going to take him, but if you want to jump us, like ahead of us, I could see something like that happening because he is a Texas boy and he said he does like Dallas. But, I mean, but yeah, I hope not. As much as I hate to say it, but yeah,
Are you there, Mike?
he's a commodity.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What's going on, guys? Is it all better now?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I can hear you.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Now here's my thing, Sean, with the Cowboys. Okay, we're at 26. You're going to have to move up in front of the Eagles because if he's there, you're primed to take him. So if I have to move up to, let's say 6-9, Sean, I'm going to have to give up a first round pick next year and a prize possession.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no way I want to do that. I'm not in a position to have one player solidify my team when I have needs everywhere else. The O-line, the defensive backs, the even linebacker position, in that D tackle position, I want another player. I want like a Jalen Carter type. I can't move up, Sean. I can't move up and give up the farm this year. I can't do it. For talent, yes, but I can't do it. I can't. It's too much. Too much for me. What do you think, Mike?
I see you guys. Go ahead, Mikey.
Mike?
Boys trying to move up. I mean, I don't know how far.
He's breaking.
Yeah, it's lagging.
I think they're just as good as getting Gibbs as going up for Bijan. He'll be right there for the picking for him, I think.
Yeah, I think Gibbs is going to be there. I think at 26, he's a solidified 26 running back. I'm going to take him at 26. I'm not moving up to get Robinson, even though I want him. I can't do it. No way.
I see you guys either getting Gibbs or a guy like Kincaid because you need a tight end. You lost
Schultz.
Yeah, that's just me. Schultz. Yeah, since you lost Dalton Schultz, Kincaid's or if you really want to play ball buster to the NFC other teams, Darnell Washington or Michael Mayer.
Yeah, I lick my chops when you say Michael Mayer. Being a Notre Dame fan, you already know about Michael Mayer, baby Gronk. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary, but that's like we're saying right now. That's your draft needs. You need a tight end. You need that running back. It's anybody's game. But that's who I see you guys going. Like all three of us said, Gibbs or a tight end, depending on the situation.
Mm-hmm. Now, is there one? I'm going to flip it to you. I'm going to let you be the Cowboys GM real quick. Sitting at 26, Sean, and Mike, if you're listening, what one player can you see that you would jump up and give a first round pick next year, trade picks, give up a first round pick to go get in this year's draft? Being a Cowboys GM, what one player would you jump?
I would say, damn. For you, Tyree Wilson. Texas Tech DN.
Really? Yeah. How far would you jump up for this guy?
I'm thinking like you, but you don't have the draft stuff. You got to go up. He's top 10.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah,
so that's why I think.
I would try to trade with the. I would try to trade with the Packers. 15. That's ideal for you guys because you're not giving too much.
Okay.
Something there.
Yeah, I think we stay. I think we stay at 26. I think the only thing I can see is if we trade back. If Gibbs is there and the running backs aren't coming off the board, I think we might trade back to early second round to one of those teams. Let's say a Colts team who's sitting at 5 pick in the second round. They might want to jump back to the first round. I think that'll help us a lot to get a little bit more trade equity in that second round. Plus next year. I don't want to move up. I really don't want to move. It scares me We've moved up. I mean, we talked about another show. Morris Claiborne, we moved up to get biggest bust in our Cowboys history. You know, we moved up to get Zeke at 4. We were there, but to me, it's just not going to pan out. Stay where you're at because you have more holes to fill than just one plug and play player to me.
Absolutely, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mike,
you can't hit that panic button.
All right, Mike's
lagging. Yeah,
still,
if I'm the Cowboys, I had a chance to move. You know, I would definitely go for like a defensive tackle, edge rusher, like the kid from Clemson, Miles.
Brian Brees.
Maybe somewhere in that area. I could see them trying. Brian from Clemson.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's going on, Jeff?
Or Miles Murphy.
What's going on, Jeff?
Hey, what's up, yo? Jaguars in the house.
Let's
go, baby. Jaguars are in the house, bringing some energy, rocking old school Mark Brunell. Let's go, man. We taking this one back.
Are you going to bring the left-handed throw too?
You know what? Hey, man, it's all good. I'll break out a left-handed throw. Why not?
There we go. All right, you guys, listen. You guys ready to do what we came here to do? Now, Joe, I know you were watching the show. Your son just got it done with this game.
Yeah, man.
Was there a lot of lag going on here that you've seen?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. Was there any lag when you were watching it? Like, if you were watching it at all?
I apologize, dude. I got to be honest. Any other time I'd be watching, I literally just like got him home. He got a bath, homework. I mean, this is the first time I sat down, so I don't really know.
Okay. All right. Because I'm getting comments, sent to me. It says Mike is lagging. Sean is lagging a little bit still, but you and I are fine. I don't know what it is. I have no idea why, but let's talk about it. AFC South here, man.
Yeah.
Joe, since you're the first, the last one in the room, I'm going to make you go first here. Let's talk about Joe Sullivan, the GM of the Jacksonville Jaguars, season ticket holder. What the hell are you going to do this year?
Well, okay, so not only Joe Sullivan's Jacksonville Jaguars, but my man Dougie P. Dougie P, very special guy. You know what I'm saying? I'll be rooting for it. Dougie P got me my only Super Bowl, so I'll be rooting for him no matter where he goes. Okay. I'm looking at the Jaguars' needs. Okay, Jaguars pass rush is in need because they lost Arden Key. Arden Key was one of their good pass rushers. He signed with the Tennessee Titans. O-line they could use because they lost Juwan James, signed with Kansas City to actually play left tackle in KC, and they could use a slot corner. So I've been looking at some mock drafts. I'll tell you one that I have in particular right here. So I've seen a lot of different things with Jacksonville. I've seen Brian. I've been reading some articles. Apparently, they really like Brian Breeze, the D tackle from Clemson. They really like that kid.
Yeah.
And then I've been seeing Brian Branch as possibly like a jack of all trades nickel type guy.
I've seen that too. Yep.
Yeah, he can play some safety. He can play some quarter. Yeah, Leland Lynch right here. Jags could land Osiris Torrance, and that makes a lot of sense. Plus, he's a local kid. He's a Florida kid,
exactly.
So he makes some sense. I have a mock right here. The mock right here has them taking an Anton Harrison, offensive tackle from Oklahoma. Okay, this mock was from like a couple days ago. And I'll tell you a kid that they really like that they've brought in for some interviews, and the coaches have worked him out. In the second round, they have him mock Sam Smith, cornerback from South Carolina. He's a little bit bigger of a corner. I think he's about 6'1", 6'2". But he apparently fits in their secondary with what they want to do. And then this mock has them. They could use a tight end because they lost the tight end. And this mock has them in the fourth round, getting a guy by the name of Zach Kuntz from Old Dominion. I have no idea who he is.
Yeah,
tight end,
7.
Tight end is deep in this draft, and they also have them go an edge rusher, a guy from Tennessee in the third round. So, the Jags. Yeah, hey, I mean, the Jags really didn't add anybody in free agency. I mean, they kind of had. They like I mentioned, they lost Arden Key, they lost Juwan Taylor, and they lost the tight end by the name of Chris Denver. They really didn't sign too much. They did sign a running back from Cleveland who I kind of like as a sneaky guy to rotate sometimes with Travis Etienne. They brought in a guy by the name of Dearness Jackson who really did well in Cleveland when he got an opportunity. And I'll tell you, that like I was saying, the Jaguars really didn't add anybody. But if you remember, their biggest acquisition came last year. They got Calvin Ridley coming back.
Yeah, a lot of people don't forget about that. He's coming back and he's fresh too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't have he don't have a lot of tread on his wheels. So, and he has something to prove too, being kicked out of the league for some BS bullshit.
Yeah. So I'm looking right here at their skill position. I mean, if Calvin Ridley is the real deal coming back, you got Calvin Ridley, you got Zay Jones, you got Christian Kirk had a hell of a year. You have the tight end Evan Ingram. They franchise tagged him, and Travis Etienne is a hell of a weapon. So the Jaguars got a lot of skill position. Like I said, they could use an offensive lineman, like the gentleman mentioned, possibly maybe the guard from Florida or a tackle somewhere, or they could use an edge rusher. I was a little disappointed. I don't know about you guys, but I know the Jaguars had a great year, but I was a little disappointed in their number one pick overall, Trayvon Walker. He was good against the run, but he really didn't sniff the quarterback too much.
Yeah, I mean, like we did the draft show last year, which we're doing next Thursday again, and there was a lot of hype with that name. Trayvon Walker, we were like, wait a minute, he went a little high in my eyes. If you think about it. He really did to me. I mean, you never know. You pick top 10. You always think he's going to be the next generational player. But Joe, you're right. He didn't sniff anything last year.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a little, only 1 year in. It's too early to say that they screwed up. But I mean, he didn't make the impact that Hutchinson made at all, and he didn't make the impact that Thibodeau made. Exactly. You know what I mean? I mean, right now, if I'm looking at it and I'm looking at edge rushers from last year, I'm saying, you know what? I think we could have got Thibodeau or also Hutchinson. Yeah.
TJ says Doug will build a line. He knows he has to protect Marilyn Manson. I still call my boy Sunshine. I'm sorry. I love Sunshine. Watching my favorite movie, Remember Titans. It's just whenever I see him, I think Sunshine. And that stare where he threw the ball right at that linebacker coming in. That's just me. But now I want to ask you something, Joe. Being the GM here, I know you guys franchise Evan Ingram. Okay, we know he's good sometimes, he's bad sometimes. What do you think about getting a tight end? Let's say a Mayer or let's say a Kincaid. What are your thoughts of that?
Yeah, I'll tell you, I like it. I like it, and hey, what did Dougie P do in Philadelphia? He had Zach Ertz, and what did he do? He went out and got Dallas Goedert.
Right.
Yeah. See, I could see that. Here's a thought: what if our boy Mayer from Notre Dame happened to slide a little bit, and he slid all the way down to 24?
Can he slide down to 26?
Yeah. Well, hey, by the way, Paul, I don't know if you touched on this on your show, but I was listening to sports radio today, and there's a rumor out there that Dallas is really hot for Bijan Robinson. They might have trade up for him. Did you hear that?
Yeah, we were talking. Yeah, we were talking to Steve earlier, who was joined. He does Dallas radio down there. He's a writer for the Cowboys. He was saying the same thing. We were actually talking a little bit off air and a little bit after, and he was saying, listen, he's like the biggest name right now in Texas right now, Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
And there's rumors that Dallas is willing to move up top 6 just to get this guy. But the price to move up, Joe, I'm selling my house, my car, my drawers, my food, everything to get this guy. And to me as a fan, before you hopped on, I told Sean, I'm scared, man. I don't want to move up and give talent where this is not a plug-and-play team. We have holes to fill. I want to gain assets. If Gibbs is there at 26, I'll take Gibbs. Why not? I mean, Robinson's a generational player. We know that. Route tree as a wide receiver. Ball carrier. Big back. Strong. Generational player. But I can't give up too much, Joe. I can't give up too much to get him. I can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, and as an Eagles fan, I got to be honest. You getting him scares the shit out of me. So I really don't like that idea. Mm-hmm. But I do see your point though, as far as you don't want to give up too much. And and you guys did franchise Tony Pollard. So I mean,
Right.
Tony Pollard's a scrub. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah.
Uh,
Walker just needs to get in the weight room. Trayvon Walker. Mhm.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I mean, well, that's what I was saying. I mean, you can't give up on the kid yet. You know what I mean? You can't give up on the kid. But I'm just saying if you,
No,
you know,
absolutely.
and you don't judge drafts off of 1 year. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
So
exactly. Yeah. And
Mhm.
that's a perfect example right there. As TJ said, it's talking about sunshine, or Marilyn Manson, as he calls him, the progression of him. I mean, generational talent coming in. We know what he did at Clemson. National titles back to back, basically. The next thing
Yeah.
since Deshaun Watson, when he played there, took over the reins as a 5-star recruit coming in, did what he did. But the progression is there with Trevor Lawrence. Now, Joe, where do you see him? I mean, can he take this team if he has the weapons? What do you say?
oh, I totally agree. I see great things out of the kid. I mean, Doug, he needed Doug P. Let's be honest. Trevor Lawrence looked like trash his rookie season, and I don't really blame
Oh
him
yeah.
for that. I mean, it was a cluster F. I mean, Urban Meyer's out there. You talk about a hypocrite. I mean, he's out there telling his players like, oh, what? Yeah, hey,
Right.
he's basically probably like, women weak in legs. Watch out, nothing good happens after 12. My man's like my man's got his hand all over ass at like 12:30 at a club. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
And so Dougie P go in there, really, 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 helped his career. And what told me a lot about Trevor Lawrence, guys, is the playoff game against San Diego. The fact that
Yes.
right, the fact that he started off with all those interceptions, and a lot of guys that don't have the moxie, that don't have the intense intestinal fortitude, would have folded. But
Yeah.
that kid hung in there and that team came back, and that showed me a lot about that kid, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Joe. That last game, I
They
forgot
threw
who
the
it was. Where
kitchen
he,
sink at him.
yeah, the one game where he showed me he grew up right in front of my eyes, where he threw 4 picks in the first half, and the
Yeah,
second half came in through 4 or 5 touchdowns. That to me is like, holy shit, this dude, nothing breaks him. He's got that, like basketball players, that ice in the vein. That's what he
yeah.
showed me. And he's
Yeah.
not scared. But now tonight we're going to take a little bit, going crazy here. But I do have a question for you guys. Now I did talk to Steve about this. Eileen says, I wonder who the one player that the team's drafts or trade up in the draft that is out of the blue. Usually one person that doesn't belong in a top 10, someone takes them. Now, we already know doing a live draft that one pick throws your whole draft board all out of sight. Like March Madness, you might have a better chance of winning that. But what one player, Joe, would surprise the hell out of you? I'll ask each team, what one player would surprise the hell out of you if Jacksonville took him?
Oh, Jacksonville. There were many guys that would surprise me if they took them, just because I could see them going in so many different directions. All right, just to make it interesting, I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised if they took a running back because they have Travis Etienne. So I'd be surprised if they took a running back. So like if Jacksonville took, say, Gibbs or Bijan Robinson happened to be there, I as good as they are, I'd be surprised because you already have the Etienne.
Yeah.
Okay. You there,
But
Mike?
Yeah, I'm here, guys.
All right, cool.
Had to rearrange some stuff around in the room, but
All right, cool. All right,
and
Mike.
you guys are looking great, sounding great, no stuttering, no, and hopefully I'm not doing the same.
It's all good. It's
Right,
all
good.
good.
We don't have
That's all,
any.
folks.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't have any stuttering and quick draw McGraw like Jason Biggs from American Pie. You know what I mean? We're not sitting there like
Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's get into the comments before we move on here. Let's get into the comments here.
Right.
Danny says, give us picks for Barkley. Yeah, he's not signed that franchise tag, so do you think he's on the market a little bit?
I could see him getting moved.
He's in New York.
I agree. What's up, Mike?
Yeah. I could see him getting moved. Man. I really can. I could see like Buffalo or somebody trying to grab him.
Are we going to see this next Thursday night? We're sitting here in a draft, doing a live draft, and all of a sudden we get breaking news. Adam Schefter says Barkley is on the move to another team. What do you guys think? Possibility?
Possibility.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
I think that's going to happen with Stephon Diggs.
Wow, really? Stephon Diggs, huh?
Yeah.
Really, you know,
I read something. Go ahead.
No, sorry, no, I was saying I saw on Twitter Von Miller was on a show today, and he was saying that he's like, oh, you know, I've been hearing we're going to be getting a serious weapon in town.
Wow.
I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's Barkley, but Von Miller was kind of implying that they were going to get a weapon.
Oh, you might have been Zeke.
Oh, well, you know what? That's true. Nope. I mean, Zeke is still out there.
Yeah, I'm surprised about that. But here's before we get into it, where do you think Darnell Washington will go? He's a big tight end. I may have him third on my board.
I love that kid, man. You know where I wouldn't mind him going. I know, not to use the pun out of the box, but I wouldn't mind if I wouldn't mind him going to the Philadelphia Eagles. If the Philadelphia, you know, if the Eagles say the Eagles are at 30, hear me out, right? Say the Eagles are there at 30, and Hendon Hooker is sitting there, okay, and a team like Seattle goes, you know what? I wouldn't mind having Hendon Hooker sitting behind Geno Smith for a couple of years. We'll give up 2 of our second round picks or like a second and a third. So the Eagles slide down to like 38 or something, right? Then the Eagles get that tight end at 38 plus pick up another pick. You know, I said this on the Sully Squad the other night. You know, Dallas Goedert is the exact age that Zach Ertz was when the Eagles drafted Dallas Goedert. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that they could bring in another tight end.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I agree with that. Let's see. Drew Sanders is the player that will go much higher than expected linebacker. I haven't really watched Drew Sanders, honestly. I mean,
I agree. I agree. That kid can play, man.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Matches Malone says Raiders usually take a fast receiver that can't catch or it ends up in jail.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey guys, real quick, I've been seeing a lot of tread on Twitter saying stuff about how Buda Baker wants to come to the Birds, and how he's trying to make that work.
Yes.
Do you think maybe they give up that 30th pick to bring Buda here?
I don't think. I think they might.
That's what I said
I think they
Paul.
go after him, but not for 30. Oh,
maybe it's DeAndre Hopkins. What do you think there? Maybe it's possibility of. I mean, he's a weapon. He's still possibility.
That would make some sense.
Yeah. All right. Well, Joe, let me go ahead, Sean.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm done, bud.
All right. Let's wrap up with the Joe's team here, the Jaguars. Joe, what else you got to give us with the Jaguars, real quick?
All right. Well, look, you know, the Jaguars actually won the division, so with that it comes a tougher schedule. So I'm looking at the home schedule for the Jaguars. You know, other than their division, which, you know, right now on paper their division's kind of trash. Let's keep it real. But I mean, they could get better. But you know, the other teams in their division are top 11 picks. You know, Tennessee's 11, and then Indianapolis and Houston are top 4. But all right, so their home schedule, they host the Ravens again. They host the Falcons. They host the Bengals, which is a tough game. Host the Panthers, and then they host the Chiefs. Well, the Chiefs are a tough game. Good for me, though. Good for tickets. And then their away schedule is, other than the division, they're at Cleveland, at the Saints, at Tampa Bay, at Pittsburgh, and at Buffalo. Well, so looking at that, I mean, the Cleveland game's winnable. New Orleans could go either way. Tampa Bay, I think, is going to stink. I think Pittsburgh's going to be a lot better. But, you know, I don't know. What do you guys think of their schedule?
To be in defending, not conference chance.
I agree with
chance. I think they're going to get 1 or 2 games out of here. I think the division's open for them. I think they'll win the division, and I think they're going to go 11-6, 12-5 this year. I think this is going to be not a rebuild, but I think it's going to take them over the top this year, being with a not demoralized, but a lesser, tougher division this year.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, the only games that I don't see them being favored or toss-ups is I think Cincinnati and Kansas City could possibly be slight favorites playing them. Maybe Baltimore, but we'll see what happens there. And then when they're at Buffalo, they'll be underdogs. Most of these other games, they're going to be probably favored.
I agree. Mike, what do you got for a record for Tennessee? I'm sorry, Jacksonville here.
With that schedule, I think Jacksonville's going to be about 11-6.
Okay.
So,
okay. Sean, what do you got for the Jags here?
11-6 as well. Yeah.
All right, so we're pretty much in neutral here. We're going, standard. We're going 12-5 tops, 11-6 roughly. Division winners, definitely.
Yeah, that division sucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, once again, are we talking second round knockout? I don't think so.
I think second round. Now, there as much as I'm high on the Jaguars and I love Dougie P, I don't think they're quite the level of the Cincinnati and the Kansas City just yet.
True. Yeah, it depends where they fall in the seeding. I mean, if they can, you're looking at even like a Buffalo. You're looking at that division being maybe 1 and 2. You're going to have to play like the second round, home game if you're 3, of course, but it's going to be hard where they fall. But let's move on here. Who wants to go next here?
I'll go next. I'll do the Houston Texans.
The who?
Houston Texans.
Oh, they still have a team. I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead, Mike.
So, I mean, looking at it, they're drafted early. C.J. Stroud looks like the pick that they're going to pick first, for the fourth quarter, for their quarterback. But I really like what they've done with their team, man. They've brought in a couple ex-Cowboys in there to help them out. They've gotten better on defense. They brought D'Amico Ryans back home to get that defense straightened out. And but their schedule, dude, their schedule is killer. I mean, if you're looking, this is just their home games, okay? It's Denver, Arizona, New Orleans, Pittsburgh, Tampa, and Cleveland, and then their 3 division games.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty tough schedule, man. I know D'Amico's got some work to do there. I don't think they're going to end up being last place, though. I think they're going to come in 3rd.
Wow. Okay.
I do. I'm not sold on Indianapolis. I think Steichen's got a lot more to build there than they do down there in Houston. Now, their away games also kind of brutal. They play at Baltimore, at Carolina, at Atlanta, at Cincinnati, and at the New York Jets. I mean, that's a pretty rough out of division schedule. You take away the 6 that they're playing in their division. We don't know what Denver's going to be. I don't think Arizona's going to be good. You don't know what New Orleans is going to be like. I think Pittsburgh will be better.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tampa's probably going to take a step back. And I think Cleveland's going to be a lot better than people think.
Okay.
And then if you look right in your division, you got Jacksonville, you got Tennessee, and you got Indy. I think Indy's probably the worst out of those 3 teams. So, if you're looking, that's just their home. Yeah. Like I said, their home. And then again, on the road, like you said, you got Baltimore, Carolina, at Atlanta, at Cincy, and at the New York Jets. So, those road wins are going to be those, out of conference, out besides maybe Arizona, and I'll say, Arizona and maybe Baltimore, because we don't know how Baltimore's going to look after they trade.
Mm-hmm.
So you just don't. Wins are going to be hard to come by. I just think Indianapolis is going to be that much worse. So
okay. Now, Mike, I have a question for you. Now, I was at the doctor's office this morning, and I was looking at Twitter, checking all the teams since we're doing the show on AFC South tonight. Now, I wanted to bring this up a little bit earlier, but TJ brings this up, and I did hear the same thing. A lot of rumors from Dallas, Houston Twitter that DeMarco Ryan doesn't want a quarterback. He wants to build that defense first. What do you think about that? Is that Will Anderson?
I would love if they got Will Anderson. I would love it. I think Davis Mills can play quarterback. I really do. You don't have an offensive line. So if you build on that line, I think that kid can be, and they got something in, was it what the hell was the kid's name from last year? Adams. You know what I mean? You know,
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
I can think. I really do. I think, you know, as long as they can keep the run game going, they got a couple weapons now they can throw to. So why not
Dameon
him go to?
Pierce.
Yeah, Damian Pierce running the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, why not go and get Will Anderson? Shore up that defense. Get somebody over there. They haven't had a pass rusher
Game
since
changer.
J.J. Watts.
Right. Now, here's another one. Leland actually says Colts
Yeah.
trade up to 2 and grab Texans Jalen Carter. What Texans grab Jalen Carter? Do you see that possibility? Because I know Seattle's rumored to Jalen Carter big time.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It all depends. I mean, I guess it could. I'm not going to say it wouldn't happen, but the Colts are really trying to get, you know, they're trying to get what's their face. They're trying to get what's his face really bad. The Colts. They're trying to get Levis really bad.
Wow.
Between it's either him or Richardson. They're really going to go for.
Hmm.
So yeah, like they've had Will Levis in twice for I guess to bring him in. They brought him in twice. Like you don't do that unless you're planning on drafting the guy. So
True.
But
you think,
again,
you think it's a smokescreen?
well, you never know. Not with that owner. I mean, dude, that dude's nuts.
What's his name?
Ursay.
Ursay, yeah.
He rides naked on his plane. Yeah, that dude gets ass naked on his plane and rides naked.
Oh, I'm not the only one then. Shit.
No. But yeah, like, no, I'm good with that dude, man. Like, you don't know what he is. Like, he may end up messing around and taking Hendon Hooker. Like, that dude's nuts.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if he gets a load on.
Yeah, TJ thinks it's smoke. He thinks it's smoke.
I'll take Max Dugan.
Max Dugan, yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Stir up the pot a little bit. All right, Mike, let's talk about where are you going to go with your pick now? Where are you going? Mike's the GM here. You're rebuilding this team. You got a hard-ass schedule. You know you're not getting to the Super Bowl next year. What are you doing, Mike?
I'm going Will Anderson. I'm going to build up that defense. Like I said, I think Davis Mills can play. I really do. And you know what? If I'm the Texans, you know you're going to be bad next year. You know, why don't you give the Philadelphia Eagles a call and see what you can offer them for the 10th pick?
Oh, stop it.
Hey, look, listen. You can get back in at number 10 for 2 first-rounders.
Stop it. Mike, you're losing connection again, brother. You're out of here.
No, listen. Stop and think about it though for a second. If they can try to trade back into the first round, either which way, you know, if they could try to, and the Eagles got one at each end. So that would be who I'll be on the phone with. Sure. If you could trade with them, get in, maybe grab an offensive lineman late first round, or if you can talk to them into giving up, if you can get the farm from Houston, because you know they're going to be bad next year, get the farm. Okay. You know, Howie's good at doing that. And can you imagine if they go and get Skoronski, the kid from Northwestern, or the kid from Ohio State?
Paris,
yeah. So, I mean, it's there. Now you knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. And now you're looking at, okay, they may not have a first-round pick next year, but they're building towards the future. They got an offensive guy and a defensive guy, and they're well under the salary cap.
All right, well, let me ask you this. I mean, I know the Texans got a lot of good players down there this year from the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, we know that.
Well, they got a couple.
A couple, you know, 2. One that I'm pissed off that went there down south. But you guys need another wide receiver. Brandon Cooks is gone, don't you think?
Yeah.
So where does that fall in?
Dude, that's July 1st. You know, there's going to be tons of people that are going to get cut.
Oh, I agree.
But I'll tell you what, Jarvis Landry's still sitting out there too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could sign a Jarvis Landry, bring him in. You know, so I would like to see them. I would like to see them. I think Leland said that the Texans picked 11th.
I think so. Yeah, that's what he just said. Yeah.
Okay, so
I think they're actually 12th, but yeah, either way, 11 or 12. Yeah, but either way.
I mean, listen, if they really want somebody, the Eagles are right there at 10. Make a deal.
Here's what I think.
Get to drop back.
I think the Texans stay put where they're at, and I think they sell to get out of the first round, one of the picks here. I think they try to get more assets for there because you know this team is not ready to compete. I think they're in a rebuilding process. D'Amico Ryans knows that, where he's just going to try to get assets for the next 2 or 3 years. That's what I'm thinking. Like sort of like a Denver, you know, or a Seattle team who's building and building for picks and picks.
You know what? I actually see it different, Paul.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. I think the Texans do take the best player in the draft at number 2, and that's Will Anderson, right?
Okay.
Then they're sitting there at 12, okay? They also have 2 first-round picks in 2024. They have Cleveland's first-round pick in 2024 too. So instead of moving back or even moving to 10, who's to say they couldn't trade number 12 and a first rounder in 24 and possibly move up a few spots and grab a quarterback like a Levis or a Richardson at, say, like 6? They could conceivably move. They could conceivably have 2 of the top 6 players in this draft. They could get Will Anderson, and then they could get the quarterback that they want, whether it's Richardson or maybe Levis or Stroud, or maybe they just say screw the quarterback, and then they just, like Mike said, maybe they go one more year of Davis Mills, and then next year they got 2 ones with Caleb Williams and the kid from North Carolina coming out.
That's why I was thinking. That's why I would say trade it this year. Keep 1 pick. Get who you want. Go Will Anderson. Shock the world. Take Will Anderson. Next year you're not going to be you're going to be a lottery pick. You're going to be probably top 5 again next year with what you have. Well, next year's your quarterbacks out there. Caleb Williams. Okay, you're going to have another mid-round pick. Go out and get that wide receiver, Marvin Harrison Jr. The best of both worlds, right there. That's what I'm looking at. I don't know. I think they need more assets. That's what I think. But who the hell knows out there?
No, I agree, and I agree with Leland's thing.
That would be huge. That would be perfect.
If you added Will Anderson and Skoronski, you're talking 2 anchors for both lines.
You're arguably talking the best linebacker in the draft and the best O tackle in the draft too, right there. So you're getting 1 and 2 in your prime position. So yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Skoronski's not going to last till 12.
No, he's not. No,
he's not. I mean, there's no way.
He's going to Paris.
I think he jumps Paris. Honestly. I think Skoronski is the number 1 offensive lineman in the draft this year.
Oh, I do too.
But here's the knock on Skoronski. He has short arm. That's what the good thing about him is he plays the whole line. You can plug him in anywhere, but he has short arms.
They said the same thing about Zach Martin coming out of Notre Dame. Short arms, stout guy, short arms. Yeah, look at all world Zach Martin.
Look where that is.
Yeah.
And in fact, to your point, Paul, everything I'm reading about scouts talking about him in the draft, people are saying they think he's going to be a Pro Bowl guard, like almost immediately.
I agree. I think so. Yeah. I mean, based on film of what we've seen, I agree. I agree with that. But Mike, what record are you talking about here with the Texans, man?
Looking at this schedule, let's see. I'll give them a win at home against Denver, Arizona, and Tampa. So you're looking at 4. They got 1. What is it? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They got 9 games. So I see them going 4 and 5 at home, and 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. So like 6 and 11.
Okay, 6 and 11. Okay. What was the record last year? 3 and 14 last year?
Yeah, 3 and 14.
Okay. All right, so you're jumping up 3 games. So that'll probably put them prime position for next year's draft being what? Let's say
like 5 or 6.
5 or 6, yeah, right in that area. Okay, all right. So you still got a good pick next year.
Yeah, I think D'Amico. I think he's going to change that defense around. Like they got some guys that can play. Like I remember watching the game last year when the Birds played them on Thursday night on a Thursday night football game. If you remember, they were in that game. They were actually beating the Eagles. They almost were our first loss, the Eagles' first loss last year. So, they play tough, man. And I think he'll have them really good. Because they really know how to get with Ryan knows how to get after the quarterback. So look what he did with that defense after Saleh left. He made that San Fran defense better. So maybe with him coming in there, like I said, you get Will Anderson, you're picking again at 12. I personally think they got to take one of their picks and number 12 and move up. And I think if they I think they're going to get Skoronski, but it all depends on where they move up. They can maybe trade with Atlanta, who's sitting at 8. Okay, Atlanta gets the extra pick and moves back to get them ahead of the Bears. You know what I'm saying? But like TJ said, don't be surprised if the Bears take a tight end. Like Michael Mayer could go to the Bears because they got about 8 tight ends on their roster. They love tight ends over there.
True. All right, so Sean, what do you got? Mike has them at 6 and 11. Where do you have the down in the dumpster Houston Texans here? Where do you have them?
6 and 11 too. Absolutely.
Okay.
I
Joe,
totally
where you
agree with
go?
him. Yeah.
Well, first, I have him about 6 and 11. I was going to say, first off, I mean, who doesn't like a nice tight end? You know what I mean? Depending on where you're at, right?
Wow.
I mean, seriously, you know,
Out of the box, baby. Out of the box.
out of the box. But
Somebody
yeah,
wants to be in the box, I see.
yeah. But nah, Texans. I could see, about 6 wins, and
Okay.
what if? So with all those picks, here's another interesting avenue. Okay, so say. What if Jalen Carter were to slide? We know D'Amico Ryans is a defensive coach. So what if Jalen Carter slid all the way to say like 8 or 9, and it only cost like a second rounder or maybe like a 2 and a 3 to move from 12 to 9, and you could add Will Anderson and Jalen Carter to that defense.
So I'm just gonna say real quick, 3 words: sign me up.
I'm just you know what I mean. I'm just saying, like, D'Amico Ryans is a defensive coach. If you added outside pass rushing of Will Anderson, arguably the best player in the draft, and Jalen Carter is arguably possibly the best player in the draft. If you added both those guys, interior pass rush and outside pass rush to the defense, yo man, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I got him going 5-12 this year. I think it's going to be the 2-game difference from this year to that year, this year to this year. But I think they're going to be at the bottom of the basement. They're going to be a lottery team next year, of course. But who knows? You know, their draft picks, they could do something. Don't be shocked. You know, who the hell knows? With 2 drafts in the first round, you control the draft just like the Eagles do. So a lot of changes are going to be made. A lot of moves are going to be made. So, Sean, do you want to go next, or do you want me to go to my team? What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'll go next.
All right.
I'll go
Who do
next.
you have? You
I'll
have
be
those
real quick.
Indianapolis Colts, right? The Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, his record was 4-12. They were 4-12 with 1 tie. You know, the free agent signings, they signed Isaiah McKenzie, all that slot position. Got Gardner Minshew, Tony Brown, the cornerback, Matt Gay, a kicker, EJ Speed, I believe, on Cleveland or Los Angeles Rams. And then the big free agent loss is Bobby Oriki, the linebacker that signed with the Giants, 4-year deal, $22 million. You know, over the past 2 seasons, he had 283 tackles. So they got themselves a nice linebacker. But in the case they lost that linebacker, the Colts. And Yannick Ngakwe, he's still unsigned, which is pretty weird to me, you know, why he isn't signed. Because the guy had a high motor in Minnesota, Jacksonville, even in Las Vegas Raiders. So, you know, but all in all, I mean, the Colts have 9 draft picks, you know, 1 selection in each of the 4 rounds. Got a cap space of 11.9 mil, 15 most in the NFL. And if I'm them, I'm probably going to go quarterback.
Who are you taking?
Then
Who are you taking?
Go ahead.
Who are you taking, Sean? Who are you taking at quarterback since you mentioned it?
I'm going to take C.J. Stroud.
Okay.
You know, even though Mike was saying Levis and all, you know, take Stroud. But then there was an article I read to touch base with Mike. Texas and Colts make a trade. They trade the 4th pick, and DeForest Buckner goes with D'Amico Ryans, who's a 3-set defensive tackle technique. Reason being, D'Amico Ryans and him were there in San Fran for 3 seasons. So it's been, you know.
Okay. All right. Now, with your first, I mean, let me ask you, if you take C.J. Stroud, okay, you go with him first. Are we talking like rebuild here? Are we throwing him to the fire? Is he going to start right away, or is he going to be the clipboard for 1 year, being a rookie at 4? What are you going to do with him?
I think he's going to start because he has one of our coach, Shane Steichen, you know, a quarterback kind of guru, you know, and work him in, you know. And he played for Ohio State. You know, he's going to have his ups and downs, maybe like sort of like Trevor Lawrence. But, yeah, I think he'll start. No clipboard.
Okay. One name I want to ask you, Bijan Robinson. Now, we know Jonathan Taylor had some injuries last year. What do you think about that? Is that a possibility, taking Robinson?
They're pretty much set with the running backs. I would think they wouldn't because they got Jonathan Taylor Morris, Darrington Evans, who they signed as a free agent. But the funny thing, they're all going to be free agents in 2024. If that were to be, it's a possibility, but I would go other needs.
Okay.
Like other needs, defense,
Gotcha.
even a lot like linebacker. So that's my thought on that.
What's the linebacker's name that was injured that led the league the
What
last?
would you do?
Was okay. What's the reason with him? Is there you mentioned something about not signing so far?
Darius
What was
Leonard.
the reason? I love that guy. I love that dude.
No, it was Yannick Ngakwe is still on sign, but the guy that you said was injured, and it's a shame. He's a hell of a linebacker. Darius Leonard, but now he goes by
Yes.
Shaq Leonard. He was out last year with a back injury.
Okay.
After that, he suffered a real bad concussion with a head-on collision in practice with his teammate. He busted his nose and ended up getting like a real bad concussion. And last year he sat out with back surgery. So
gotcha.
He said he's feeling good. He's ready to come back. They really do need him because he's that anchor in the middle of that defense, the shot caller, the captain.
He's nasty.
He's a tackling machine. I love him.
A lot of people.
I wanted him.
Compared him like a Luke. Yeah, a lot of people compared him like a Luke Kuechly type linebacker.
Yeah,
hybrid guy on the ball, a general.
Yeah.
So yeah, real quick, Sean, what's your record, real quick, with the Indianapolis Colts here? I mean, what do you see?
I see them at probably the rebuilding process, bottom of the barrel, last place.
Okay. What record do you got? I mean, we got the Texans at. I got them at 5-12. You got them at 6-11. So you got to be worse than that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Mike, where do you got the Colts?
Like 2-15.
Holy shit! Wait a minute. What'd you say?
I'll say it again. 2-15.
2.
Yeah, 2.
2. Holy crap.
I'm looking at their schedule, dude. Like Tampa stinks. Tampa stinks. They might beat them, and I don't know. Maybe the Raiders.
Wow.
Dude, their road schedule: Houston, Jacksonville, Tennessee, at Baltimore, Cincinnati, Carolina, Atlanta, and New England. Who are they beating on that road?
All right. 2 and oh man, damn. Sean, do you have it higher than 2-15 at least, or no?
I'm right there with them, dude. It's gonna be bad. It is.
Joe, you tell me. 2-15 here. Where are you at?
Well, I mean, it is hard to say because we don't know who the quarterback's going to be. But they're looking at I don't see a lot of wins on this schedule. I'll be charitable and say they'll find a way to win like 4. Like I could see, like I could see maybe I think Carolina's maybe better than them, but maybe that be a game depending on the spot where Carolina's quarterback fucks up more than theirs. Maybe they win that one. Same deal with Houston. Maybe they beat Houston once. Tennessee's going to suck. Tennessee's going to blow too, so maybe they beat Tennessee once. And then maybe Tampa Bay or something. You know what I'm saying? Tampa Bay or the Raiders or the Rams. I don't think the Rams. I mean, if Stafford's fucked up, they could beat the Rams because that's an Indy. So they'll find. I think they find a way to win like 4.
I agree. I don't think it's going to be a 2-15. I mean, I think they'll at least win 4 games this year. I mean, shit, you're gonna beat Tennessee at least once. You're gonna beat Tampa Bay. We don't know what the hell they're gonna look like, and you're always gonna.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it being generous. End of the season, playoff teams are already gonna have it wrapped up. They're gonna lock down. That win is gonna be a win. The only way I can see them screwing up a win is just saying, "I want the draft pick. I'm going to lose for a draft pick." That's the only thing I can see. Yeah. But I'm going to go with 4-13. At least 4-13 here.
Nope, 2. You're right. The last week they'll get a win. You want to know why? Because the team they're playing will be already clinched, and that's one of their wins is week 17. They will get 1 win going into that. I'm telling you, they are going to be horrible. Minshew is going to be their starting quarterback.
Hey,
do realize
Minshew
that.
Mania,
I don't
Minshew
think- I
Mania,
don't think so.
Minshew Mania. You guys know all about him. Come on.
Yeah, we know about him. That's why I saw him. He would be a perfect quarterback for 2-15 team.
They're not going to wait. I don't think they're going to waste their time with Minshew.
I don't either.
Whoever they draft, they're going to start.
You have to. If you're going that high on a draft pick, you've got to start
Yes.
him right away. You have to, man. You're not going to let the first round, your first pick, top 5, sit on the bench and
Don't be surprised. Don't be
Huh?
surprised. Don't be surprised if he does. Like this is where I differ from you guys. Like that's why they brought Minshew there. They brought him there to take snaps, and while this kid is learning, halfway through the season, they'll yank Minshew, and the kid will step in. That's what's going to happen. That's the way.
Right.
That's the way the trends have been going. They haven't been throwing kids into the fire. Look, and the reason they don't look what happened to Joe Burrow his first year. They threw him into the fire. The kid got hurt. They've
that's
been
because
really.
the old line sucked like shit too, Mike.
I feel like they throw. I feel like they throw every one of these kids into the
Right.
fire. They're the only one that I don't remember.
Yeah,
The only one that I don't think they really threw into the fire was Mahomes.
Very true. Yeah.
No, Mahomes sat his first year.
He
Right,
sat behind
that's what I'm
Alex
saying.
Smith. He sat behind
Yeah.
Alex Smith.
Right.
Yes, he
Now,
did.
Mike, since you said they're going to be 2-15 here. Okay, let's talk about this real quick. When do they pull Minshew out?
Probably.
Week what?
I'd say week 6.
All right,
They're
so
gonna
they're 0-6, and then Minshew's you're out of here. You son of a bitch, you're out, and
Nope.
then whoever they draft picks coming in.
Yeah.
All right,
And I can see that happening because
Okay. All right.
because I can see that happening because like you're not going to sit with him for a half a season. You're going to give him 6 weeks,
True.
let him go, let the kid develop and learn, and then you got to throw the kid to the fire. Like
Okay.
you know, you got to let him get his feet wet, let him go out and do what he has to do. And I'll tell you what, like to me, like if you just look at our quarterback with Jalen Hurts, Carson was sucking really bad, and Doug had to wait, and Doug waited him. He played the final 5 games of the season. He said, "Look, dude, you're out." And the kid went into Green Bay and had a hell of a showing.
Sure.
You know, and so maybe they're not. I just don't see them taking either Stroud or Young and just throwing them right into the fire, or Richardson. It's going to take, especially Richardson. Richardson's going to take a little longer to develop, I think, to the NFL game.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we got him pretty much bottom of the basement here. So let's move on to the last team here, which I have is probably going to be right next to the Colts, basically. Tennessee Titans. First, I'll go over with you guys. We'll just talk back and forth here. Ryan Tannehill, Malik Willis. Okay, Malik Willis. You know, we talked about this guy coming out of Liberty last year. He can light up the arm, huge speed, great pocket presence, but he looked like a deer in headlights last year in the game.
Oh, yeah.
So are we? I'll talk to you guys about it. Are we going to go Ryan Tannehill? I mean, okay, quarterback, not a elite quarterback in any means, over a Malik Willis. I mean, we're not going to draft a QB. I can't draft a QB after Malik Willis last year. What do you guys think?
I read an article, Paul, that they're done with Malik Willis. I don't know how true it is. I'm just seeing what I read. They done with him, and they'll try to move up if one of these quarterbacks are there, like a Levis, Richardson. But it's a shame. But like you said, Malik Willis was like a deer in headlights. Tannehill, his wheels are falling off. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. But like Joey said, you don't know. Anything could happen in this.
Joe, real quick, I'll go to you. Tannehill versus Malik Willis. I don't think you can give up Malik Willis because you paid a high price for him last year. And also, the deer in headlights thing has me puzzled as another GM. Why would I want this guy? I don't want him.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel a little bad for Malik Willis because we all knew that he wasn't ready to play. And the only reason he had to play is because Tannehill got hurt. And he really did look like shit. I mean, I'm not trying to crap on the dude too bad because he wasn't ready, but like he looked like he never threw a football before when he was in there. I mean, he's got a long way to go, that kid, you know?
I think his first game he was 1-16 for like 17 yards, his first debut. That's pretty damn bad.
Yeah, you know what's kind of interesting though. I was reading an article, it may take a lot for the Titans to move up in the draft to go quarterback, but have you seen that the 49ers are calling teams about Trey Lance? And that kind of has me a little intrigued. if
Wow.
Tennessee could be in the Trey Lance sweepstakes.
So they're in the Brock Purdy element that they're keeping him for the franchise
Yeah.
here, huh? And getting rid of your Trey Lance. Your what you gave up for Trey Lance, and you're going to give up on him already. That's weird. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't necessarily. I'm just. There's just a lot of reports out there over it. You know what I mean? Because they did bring in Sam Darnold, and they do have Purdy, and yeah. They gave up a ton for Lance, but what if, what if Tennessee offered a few picks for Trey Lance, like maybe like a second this year and a second next year or something like that, or I know San Francisco is really selling them on the 50 cents on the dollar, but if they're not keeping them anyway,
To me, it makes sense because you're not sold on Malik Willis. You didn't pay a big price on him. You played hefty on draft picks, yes. But if you're going to get a Trey Lance, we know what he can do. His injury killed him. We already know that. He's a solid QB, smart, prototype Jalen Hurts type, not that build, but a smart running quarterback. Why not take a flyer? Second round pick?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? You have him sitting the bench behind Tannehill. Yank, just like Mike said, yank your QB week 6. Put the kid in. Let him run with it. What do you have to lose?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go and I'm going to give Willis.
Okay.
I'm going to give Willis a chance.
Okay. Leland says it's not the Niners calling team; it's 6 teams calling San Francisco for Lance. Oh, okay, all right. Well, shit. There is revenue for him. There is revenue for him out there.
But here's the thing: like, I'm not giving up on Willis. He looked like a deer in headlights, but you also got to remember now, too, he's been in the fire, so it's going to slow down for him. You know what I mean? And plus now he's got a full off season. He's going to have full OTAs coming in here and working. And to be honest with you, Tannehill's he knows his time is done.
Sure.
This dude, right about now, I'd be offering Tannehill to somewhere. See if he wants to go be a starting quarterback somewhere else. That's my whole thing. I'm not ready to give up on Malik Willis yet. Kid's got an arm. He can escape the pocket. And trust me, the game's going to come to him this year. I think Jalen Hurts didn't look that good either his first year.
Yeah, but there's a different mentality between Jalen Hurts and Brian Tannehill. We all know about Jalen Hurts' high school to college. But you still have Tannehill for 2 years. So no team is going to take that contract. The only way you're going to do it is you're going to cut him, and it's going to take a huge hit on your salary as well. But let me move on to the running back. Now, I was talking to Steve earlier on the 215 Boys show, and he said a lot of teams, because he talks to the media out there and he gets inside info, Derrick Henry might be on the move on draft night. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about that?
Yeah. Once he was up for trade rumors, trust me, he's not coming to the Eagles because Howie already fleeced the Titans, so they don't want to do business with him anymore. But look at some of these teams that were having issues with the running game, Joe Mixon's future in Cincinnati's kind of up in the air right now.
Sure.
Nah, he's not going to go to Miami. Miami's got a ton of running backs.
Yeah, I think they're too loaded in Miami.
Yeah, they got 6 running backs down there. He's not going there. But I would look at a team like Cincinnati. They could be in the market for another back because they did lose Perrine this year, so they can definitely get in. Because, like you said, you don't know what's going to go down with Mixon, whether they're going to move on from him or not. Because I'm hearing he's a June 1st cut coming. So, I could see them being in play. Buffalo's always going to be in play.
Mike, I'm glad you mentioned that name, Buffalo, because when I was talking to him earlier, he said that's a name that's been dragged around a lot with Derrick Henry, sitting near the back end of the first round. That's what 27th pick or whatever they have to move and just trade for Henry. Just even swap it basically, pick for pick or whatever, late round pick, and give you Henry. We'll take the contract. That could help the Bills a lot if they do.
If the Bills get Derrick Henry, dude, they're going to be very hard to stop.
Mm-hmm.
They are. They're going to go from a team who don't run the ball to a team that's going to run the ball a lot now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Smash mouth. Yeah, they're going to run it down your throat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, Joe, what do you have on Derrick Henry? Where do you think is he trade bait on next Thursday night, or does he end up getting cut, or does he play out the contract?
He may get traded, but I don't think he's going to fetch a ton of. The funny thing is, he might only fetch like a 3rd round pick. As crazy as it sounds,
I'm glad you mentioned that. Look at Zeke. Nobody wanted his ass. Had to cut him. he still has some tread on the tires, and we know what Henry's about.
Yeah.
Good player, but I think they're probably going to maybe a third round, or hell, OTAs might come around. That's somebody might just go from there, but somebody's going to get injured.
I'm just trying to figure out. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out where the hell he would go.
I can see a couple teams. I mean, maybe a Tampa Bay. Maybe a Buffalo, things like that. That's used to that big tight back. Buffalo's never had one, but
Buffalo makes sense. I mean, Tampa Bay would make sense, except for the fact Tampa Bay kind of knows they're going to suck. So why would they trade for Henry? You know what I mean? They're not going to give up an asset for the future. I mean,
very true.
It would have to be a contending team, and I don't know, man. I mean, I'm trying to figure. Maybe a team. What about Washington has that kid Brian Robinson, but maybe a team like Washington, I don't know, maybe rotate with Robinson.
Robinson's a big back. He's a hybrid big back too. So I wouldn't go out and get that. Yeah, I wouldn't take a same kind of flyer on the same kind of back.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to see where he goes, honestly.
Very true, very true. Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because he did say something about that. That there's a lot of rumors in the media out there saying it with Derrick Henry, but I won't go into the Titans because it's basically a clusterfuck, honestly, where they're at. A lot of rebuild going on here. But wide receivers, I want to talk about one real quick. Treylon Burks came off the injury last year with toe turf.
Yeah,
generational player. I wanted him, great high flyer. Can they go out and get a little bit of help because you got Chris Moore out there as well, and then you got a guy Westbrook, Naheem Westbrook as well, another hybrid, but they don't have that possession receiver. Do you take a chance on a possession receiver? I mean, a big body Quentin Johnson, 6'4".
I mean, they could.
Yeah, him or Jordan Addison.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to get the kid. I think you got to get some weapons out there. I really do.
I mean, you got the kid Parker Washington too from Penn State.
Absolutely,
he's kind of a possession receiver as well. You got him out there too. So I mean, but I don't think he's a first round pick. You can probably get him later on in the draft. Yeah. So they need offensive line help, is what they need. Tennessee.
Yeah. Well, Marie says you're right. Skill position will be definitely available around two. I mean, I think this year, as I talked about earlier, I think there's going to be a lot of players in second and third round. I mean, there's players out there that's going to be unsung right now. Just like on the earlier show, we talked about Mel Kiper, Shayok. They're talking about this draft. A lot of these teams are just looking at the name recognition right now. We already know that there's going to be players that, God, it's going to be second and third round starters, immediate plug and play players. So now the other thing I want to ask you, now there is a new left tackle with my team, the Tennessee Titans here. How do you guys feel about Andre Dillard?
Great pass blocker.
Yeah.
Can't run block to save his life, but he's a great pass blocker. So whatever side he plays on, he'll probably be playing opposite of Taylor Lewan. So unless Lewan moves over,
Lewan's not there.
He's not here anymore. He's gone.
They cut him.
Really?
They released him.
They cut him, released him. Yep.
Yeah, I was actually going to say when we were talking about Tennessee needs O-line bad. I mean, I'm reading some of their a lot of their mock drafts have them going offensive tackle, like the kid from Georgia or possibly the kid from Ohio State or Skronsky if he happens to be there.
Yeah, I'm reading a lot there linked to either a Skronsky or a Paris Johnson from Ohio State. Yeah.
Roderick Jones from Georgia. Yeah, they need help.
Yep. So with Dillard, I mean, is this a franchise left tackle here or no? I mean, can they run with him the next 3 or 4 or 5, 6 years?
No, he can't run block. He can't run block to save his life. He can pass block all day long. If they become a passing team and they throw 50 times a game, he'll be able to protect Willis. But other than that, no. Watching him here, he can't run block. That's why he couldn't. That's why he got beat out. He got beat out by Jordan Mailata, who, mind you, this guy never played football. Was a 7th round. He was almost.
Was he a rugby player? Was he a rugby player?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he played rugby. So
yes,
he never even got suited. He never got suited up or nothing, and he lost his job to him because he couldn't run block. So let that sink through right there. Now, I'm not saying Dillard's a bad player because he stuck around on the Eagles. The Eagles kept him. They didn't want to lose him, but he can only pass protect. He's not good at run blocking.
Okay.
Came out of that wacky packy 12, Paul.
No, don't say anymore. Don't say anymore, Mike. You already said enough with the wacky pack 12. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I won't go into them because I know Tennessee has a lot of needs. We don't talk about those, but I think this record. I think that they're going to be pretty damn bad. I think it's going to be a fight, probably with the Colts, and it's bad to say that the Texans are going to have a better record than the Titans. I have these Tennessee Titans low, and I think they're going to be probably around. God, I hate to say this, but 6-11 this year. I think they're in second place, tied for second place at the bottom. I got them 6-11 this year.
Wow.
That's not even looking at their schedule. I'm not even going to look at their schedule either. What's that? What do you have, Matt?
I think they only win 4 or 5. I think
Wow.
they're
Okay. I mean, I'm giving a couple games because Tannehill is a veteran, and being the fact that maybe they keep Henry, I think they can pull out a couple games out there. Split with the Texans. I didn't even look at their schedule, honestly. So I think with the veteran QB presence, I think you win 6 games. I mean, you're in a bad division, honestly, that can split in any week.
Yeah, 4 tops.
You look at the schedule.
Yeah, 4 wins tops.
All right, give me the schedule real quick. Go ahead.
All right, you got your 6 divisionals, right?
All right, I'm gonna give 2 to 3. I'm gonna go 2 right there. That's 2 for me.
All right, I'm gonna go home first, then away.
Okay.
Home, Atlanta Falcons. They're not beating the Falcons.
If you get them early, maybe.
Baltimore Ravens. They're not beating the Ravens.
Iffy. No QB right now. We don't know.
Carolina, not beating Carolina. Cincinnati, not beating Cincy. Chargers. They're not beating them. And then they got Seattle.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Now, hold on. Now here's the road. You have Cleveland, Miami.
Iffy, that could be a win. That could be a win with Cleveland.
Miami.
Okay, no, they'll run them off the board.
New Orleans.
7.
Defense, great. Offense, I'm not sure about right now.
Pittsburgh.
Iffy. They're
0-10.
Only way I think you can beat Pittsburgh is if you don't
Tampa.
get Tomlin at the last game of the season when he needs to go over 500.
Yeah. And Tampa.
Winnable.
That's what I said. I'm looking at this. I'm kind of in agreement with Joe here. 4, maybe 5 tops. And I'll give you, like, this home schedule is pretty brutal. Like, you know, I see them going, Tennessee, honestly, I see them going like 2-4 in the division. 2-4 in the division. And, you know, just their conference games. They got the Chargers, they got the Bengals, Pittsburgh, Miami, and Cleveland. And Cleveland, those 5 games. Like, I don't see them doing well. Like, you think they're going to go to the dog pound and win?
I think they will.
Cleveland plays tough at home, man.
I know, but see, here's the thing. I think we're going to get a win in Baltimore because the QB is not going to be – they don't know what the hell is going on with the QB situation. Lamar is going to hold out, so they'll beat them. Everything has to play and fall into place for me to get my 6 wins, okay? Put it that way.
Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement with you. I'm 4. It's really hard for me to find 5 wins. It really is.
Yeah, 4,
so like,
I'm there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, man, I tell you, this division. We already know who's going to be the winner of the division. We already said that. But how far does the winner out of this division, the Jacksonville Jaguars, get? Are they a second round knockout? Before we get to our sponsors, real quick.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yes.
Okay.
Second round knockout. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. That sounds good. I mean, wow. Who's the MVP? Give me the last thing. Who is the MVP out of this division? They're not going to win the NFL MVP, but who is the MVP out of this division? One player. The division MVP. Who is it?
Damian Pierce.
Wow, you're on that running back, huh?
Travis Etienne.
Wow, we're on the running backs. Okay.
Dude, listen, I've been on Pierce since he got out of school.
I know you have. Yeah.
He's a mauler. He's a bowling ball. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Sunshine, man. I think Sunshine has another breakout year. I think he takes us to another level. We've seen what he's about. You know, Sean and I, we talked about it. You know, how can you go from, on the other show, we talked about on my other show, how can a guy throw from 4 picks versus 4 to 5 TDs in the second half? He turned that around. I think he's going to have a good moment this year. I really do. I think it's going to be Sunshine, but they're definitely not going to be. Joe says, Trevor, I'm sorry, right here. There you go. Trevor Lawrence is the MVP in the division. Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. I think he's going to be a solid QB this year in that division. But real quick, guys, before we break this show up here, let's talk about our sponsors real quick. Listen, if you love coffee, give them a shout out. Evolution of Flavor Infused Coffee, Monkey Cold Coffee. Use promo code OOTBS Sports at monkeycoldcoffee.com. At the checkout, you'll get 10% off. Their best flavor that I drank myself personally, bourbon chocolate. Oh my God, it's so insane. I had to have the coffee cake as well. Put a little tingle in me. Man, it felt so good. Every morning I drink it. If you like cold coffee, get the cold brew. New flavor coming, toasted coconut rum as well. And also, guys, take a look at our schedule here. Out of the box, we have something for everybody. Make sure you always think outside the box because that's what we do here. Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday, all the way to Sunday night. But we have a show coming up Sunday night in the near future. But, guys, if you're ever injured, give my man a call, Jason Fine a call. 1-800-123. Big Al, good friend of mine, my former boss for over 15 years. He'll steer you right. Usually lawyers charge you about 45 to 50%. I promise you this. If you get injured, you give him a call, you mention out of the box, you'll be at 33 1/3%. So just letting you know right now, check him out. So guys, listen, this has been College Football Friends. We had a little out of the box moment at the beginning, but that's how we are out of the box. We always make it happen at the very end, no matter what. So listen, before we get out here, Mike, what the hell's going on tomorrow night?
Oh, baby, we're talking Phillies. They get a win today. They get a win today in Chicago. They take 2 out of 3 from the White Sox. Open up a very, very important series with those Colorado Rockies coming into town tomorrow for a 4-gamer. So we'll be talking about that. We'll be recapping what we think is going to happen with this Eagles draft pick. The Flyer season thankfully comes to an end. I'll be giving my Stanley Cup predictions of who I think is going to go to the Cup. And, of course, Sixers. Will they go up 3-0 on the Nets? We don't know. We'll talk about it tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, right here on Out of the Box.
All right, Mike, I know you talked about the Flyers. I think you're going to be having a guest. We're not going to name the guest yet, but in a couple of weeks, we're going to have a Eagles announcer or Eagles coverage guy with you, I think, next couple of weeks or something like that.
Yep.
All right, sounds good. Sean, what do you got going on, brother? I know you're here with me tonight. Where are you at next week?
Possibly you check me out Monday nights, 6 to 7 with Joey on the Sully Squad. Just break down the 4for4 sports, man. And possibly be on tomorrow night, Broad Street South, 8 to 9 with Angel Martinez and Ryan Neff.
Okay.
So,
and as for Joe Sullivan, you can check him out every Monday night on the Sully Squad on Devereaux Sports. Check him out with my man Sean on there also. Also does a great time with me, College Football Frenzy, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. And tomorrow night, Mike is going to be on for Locker Room Podcast. You already have the topics. Right after that, we'll have Fight Club 215 with myself and Joey Wood on there tomorrow night. So, guys, listen, man. Out of the box, we all have something for you. So, any departing words until next week, guys? And also, next week, Mike, I think we're taking 4for4 to another level next week, right?
4for4 is actually going to be off because you guys are going to be doing the draft. So it'll be draft. I'm actually going to do day 2 with Danny and Evan.
Okay.
We're doing day 2 and 3 because I don't want the lag or anything like that. I'll lag their show. So I will jump on with them Friday to do rounds 2 and 3. I will be commenting, so there won't be no 4for4 next week. It'll be Paul, Sean, and probably Joe covering round 1. I will be going crazy watching it with you guys. But yeah, I'm going to jump on. My son asked me, said, Dad, me and Danny were doing day 2, rounds 2 and 3. I said, I will jump on with you. So I'm actually going to bring some black and blue and silver and green to the Big Blue Power Hour. And while we watch rounds 2 and 3.
There we go. What time is that draft next week on Friday night, Mike? Maybe I have to go a little bit earlier then.
I believe
I know Thursday nights it's 8 o'clock. We're going to hop on at 7:30 next week. Next week we'll be on 7:30.
Do not know. It might be 7:30. It might be 7 or 7:30.
All right. Well, we'll keep you updated. You know, Out of the Box, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. We'll let you know what time they go live. Big Blue Power Hour Friday night. We're keeping it real. You know, Mike's going to invade their show. You know, so he's going to bring the knowledge to that show, of course. So, guys, listen to me. My name is Paul Spencer. Of course, I got Sean Killer Kilrain. Right over there, I got Mike Laurel. Joe had to check out. But, guys, we'll see you next week. Same time, same. And, guys, listen, NFC East.
Yes. Well, better way, right? What better way?
Right after the draft, too. Oh,
no,
man.
Right before the draft.
Like there's 76.
Oh, my gosh, you're right?
Nope. Between that, yeah, right before night before NFL draft, we're covering the division we all follow.
Well, let's talk about it real quick before we get out of here. I'm not going to do my Cowboys, okay? You guys can. I'm going to decide who does my Cowboys. Okay, Mike. I'll let you decide who gets the Commanders. Who's taking the Commanders next week?
You know what? I'll take them. I'll take the Commanders.
Okay. Sean, who gets the Philadelphia Eagles next week? Well, I think I think there's only one obvious choice.
Yeah, you should let Paul give it.
Yeah, why not? I'd like to see you take very good care of my beloved Eagles, and I'll take the Giants. The Giants.
Oh, the Giants. Okay.
And so poor Joe's getting stuck with the Cowboys.
Joe will take my Cowboys. I will take the Eagles. Sean will do the Vegans, whatever you want to call them out there, and Mike will take the lonely Commanders. So
I will take the Commanders.
Wow, that's going to be a hell of a show, man. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm firing Howie Roseman from his office responsibility. If that's even possible.
Oh, God.
All right, guys, listen, we will be back next week. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Thanks for staying there with us during the lag. We really appreciate it. And, guys, we'll see you next week. Until then, have a great night, and we'll see you next Wednesday night, 8 p.m. College Football Frenzy.
Woo!